More about the TPN sales pack, the offer to purchase. Specifically now, let's talk about the cooling off. The purchaser has a right to cooling off, but let's talk about what is cooling off.
So cooling off is actually quite simple to explain. It is buyer's remorse. It's if a party signs an agreement, they've got a set specific time period to pull out of the deal. And this has obviously been granted either by the contract itself or by legislation.
So in terms of an OTP, there's two pieces of legislation that we can look at. The first is the Alienation of Land Act.
100% correct. In terms of Section 29A, if a property is sold for less than 250,000 Rand, the purchaser has a cooling off time period of 5 days. So you can actually back out of that deal 5 days after signing the contract.
The second is in terms of the Consumer Protection Act. When does the CPA apply in terms of cooling off for an offer to purchase?
The CPA is actually quite complex because it details that the cooling off period will only kick in an instance of direct marketing. And direct marketing is either an email or an SMS or telesales that is specifically directed at that specific consumer, at that specific purchaser. So if I get a database, I call somebody off it, that would be considered direct marketing. However, placing an ad on PropBay and waiting for a person to contact you is not necessarily going to open up the whole 5 business day cooling off time period as you've got with direct marketing in terms of the CPA. So once again, it's only in terms of direct marketing, and the purchaser will have 5 days to pull out of the deal from that time period.
So how does the purchaser, if he wants to use his cooling off right, how does he go about doing that?
In terms of the TPN OTP, we've got this notices and domicilium clause, which specifically details how transfer of communication must occur between the parties. So this can either occur on email, it can be so in terms of fax, obviously in terms of our agreement still, and hand delivery and post. So it really does depend on how that notice needs to be given.
Fantastic. That concludes our cooling off right then.